Alrighty, folks. So it's almost noon right now on the East Coast, and all the indexes across the board are crushing it. We have the S&P 500 up 0.8%, the Russell's up 0.6%, the Nasdaq's up 1.4%, crushing all the other indexes as we have the Dow up 0.8%, and we have the metals selling off. Gold's down 0.6%, as we have silver down about 0.8%. So in this video, we're going to break down the markets like we always do, and we're going to talk about some stocks. What's going on in these markets today, guys? So if y'all find value, hit that like button, subscribe. Of course, take a sip of, in this case, we have tea because my throat is shot today, guys. As you all know, the Super Bowl was last night. I may or may not have had a little too much to drink, and I was screaming after every Eagles touchdown, and of course, the Eagles ended up losing. It is what it is, guys. The Eagles ended up losing. Two blown touchdowns, two wide open touchdowns. That call at the end of the game, in my opinion, was a bunch of BS. We're not going to get into that in this video, but yeah, it was a rough night last night. It was a rough night for the Eagles, but we're gonna keep on pushing through, guys, and we're gonna break down some stocks in this video. So if you find value, hit that like button, subscribe, get your free money from Moomoo and from Webull. Link down below, and let's just get right into it. So SPY right now is breaking to the top of this wedge. You guys can see this, and mind you, we're not completely breaking out of the wedge, but we are clearly breaking out of the moving averages, as SPY is now about to go up 1% on the day. These markets just keep on trucking along, guys, and we're not even halfway through the day. So we're breaking out of these moving averages, and we're going to be testing a big level of resistance now, which is the top of the wedge, anywhere from literally where we are now, 412 upwards of 413, 414. That's going to be the big test on SPY. You know, if the bulls can get out of this point right here, guys, on the 20-day, especially if we take the highs out from Thursday being about 415, that is where we could really start. The bulls could start gaining more momentum, maybe to go take the highs out from early last week, which you guys remember, or maybe you don't. I'll tell you right now, those highs were right around 418. So I'm going to set my alert at mark is at or above 415. We take that wedge out. We take the highs out from Thursday, Wednesday as well. That could be a big, that's going to be a big break for the bulls. It's going to be looking good for the bulls in that case, guys. But they're not breaking out yet. We're not there quite yet. And triple Q, let's take a look at this thing. It's pretty much the same thing, right? We got a bit oversold heading into, the end of last week. We got down to about 295-ish on triple Q. We held the bottom of that wedge. Now we're pushing over the 50 SMA. We're not breaking yet above the 180 SMA, but we're pretty much there, guys. We're dang near right there. It's, my alert's at 305. We're currently at 304.50 as this is up 1.6% on the day. So to me, it looks like we're about to test it. We are testing it right now. And if bulls could take out 305, 306, we could have, a huge move from that point on triple Q. And of course, big tech is doing very well today. We're going to break down some big tech stocks in this video. We have Microsoft up 4%, Meta's up another 3%. And the list goes on. I mean, there's a lot doing well today. So keep your eyes on those levels that I just mentioned on triple Q and SPY. And if I pull up oil, let's see what this is doing. Is it over 80? No, it's not. Oil is now still at $79.50 a barrel, which you guys know I've been talking about this for weeks, it seems like. Oil's been trading horizontally, between 82 roughly. You guys can see my alerts at $83. So that's been resistance pretty much over the past, couple months. But also on top of that, we've had support at about, 70, 72. So we're in this, range, $10, $12 range. What direction is this thing going to pick, right? That's the million-dollar question, because right now we're clearly still in between 80 and about $70 a barrel. So we'll see, guys, what happens with oil moving forward. Nothing really crazy, nothing different, is really going on at this point. On oil, let's see, the metals are not doing much either. They're still both in a downwards channel. You guys can see gold on the 4-hour, maybe not the 4-hour, the 3-year downwards channel. It's still in that. Same with silver, right? Nothing much really has changed with these two. And we might as well talk about some stocks now. Microsoft, like I mentioned, I alluded to this a minute ago. It is doing well. It's up 4% on the day, and you guys can see we are launching right off that 50 SMA. My goodness, guys, look at this. We pulled back last week a bit on Thursday. Was that Friday a little bit? Yeah, a little bit on Friday. Now we're launching off that moving average, and it looks like we're about to test the highs from last week, being, let's pull this 20-day up, being right around 275. I mean, we're there now. We're literally there right now. You guys can see. You could argue this is a bit of a triangle as well. Look at that, ascending triangle. So I'm thinking if Microsoft could take out the highs from last week, right around 276, there could be a big move around the corner for this. I mean, it's already up a ton, of course, but the move could continue. And you guys can see back in May, June, July even, 270 to 275, 280, that's been a big resistance, for months at this point. And we only had one pop to almost 300. That was back in August. And then we obviously dumped all the way down to 212. So if we take 275, 280 out, we could be running right to that high from August, which is right at 290, 295. And then we'll see where it goes from there. I'm not going to, say it's going to go back to all-time highs or anything crazy quite yet. But who knows? We'll see. If 300 could break, maybe we do start to make that move. But at this point, I'm focusing more on the move from 280, 275 up to 290, 295, right? So Microsoft not looking so bad right now. It's looking pretty good, actually. AMD is also looking pretty interesting. Last week, we got overbought, hit about 88, 90, 90 a share, and it was a bit toppy. You guys can see we failed pretty much every time we hit the mid-high 80s last week. Then we ended up pulling back towards the low 80s. That was on Thursday, Friday. And now it looks like, well, we're getting some buying pressure. Bulls are coming in at about 78, 80 a barrel. Or not 80 a barrel. I'm so used to saying that because oil's at 80 a barrel right now and it hasn't budged. No, it's 78, 80 a share, guys, here on AMD. And right now it's at 83 almost a share. I feel like this is gearing up for a move, maybe back to the mid-80s. Maybe it starts cracking back over that and it starts going to $90 again. That, I think, is in the cards as the trend here, clearly, at least in my opinion, is continuing by the looks of it. And we have Square, also known as Block, looking pretty decent as well. This got way overbought last week, way overbought. Got to $90, and it saw a healthy pullback to $75. That was a 15% pullback. That's a correction, more than just a pullback. And at this point, look, we're holding support right around the high from the middle of January at about 75. We're also holding the 180 SMA here on the 4-hour chart. That's a good sign. And we have earnings coming up. Earnings are on, what day is the earnings? On the 23rd. So that's 10 days from now, whatever day that is. So obviously not this week, but next week they're going to be reporting earnings. So that gives us enough time, at least me. I don't like buying and holding through earnings. That might be able to give us enough time for a move before the earnings actually come out. So Block, Microsoft, AMD, those are three that I'm looking at. We can see some other ones here moving. Chewy is ripping on the day-to-day, up 5.6%, looking like it's starting to break past the highs from a couple months ago. That's good for Chewy. Airbnb, I believe they report tomorrow or today. I forget when. Tomorrow after the bell, they're going to be reporting. That is good old ABNB. What else do we have here? Meta's moving, like I mentioned earlier. That's starting to bounce off of the 50 SMA. It looks like we hit 170. Bulls are coming in, starting to push this thing higher. So these are a couple of stocks, guys, that I'm looking at right now. And, of course, we're going to make more content today. So make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and do not forget, guys, to get your free stocks from Moomoo, up to 15 stocks, each up to $2,000. Just use that link down below or go to stasserfest.com/Moomoo. That is STASSERFES.com/Moomoo. You could also get up to 12 fractional shares from Webull. It's free money with any amount deposited. All of those are linked down below, guys. And just know all of those are affiliate links. Same with the Patreon. All those links down below help out the channel. And by the way, join the Patreon if you guys want. I post all my charts there throughout the day. We have a Discord chat. I'm building a Patreon portfolio, which I started last week. We're building that out. Join the Patreon. I'll see you guys on the inside. Keep crushing the market. Stay safe out there. Cheers, guys. I'll see you later. Peace out.